Well, the truth is that leaders who continue and stop a spiral, who have charge of themselves, they're in charge of themselves, and they can continue in hard times, here's what we know. They think, feel, and behave differently than the ones who spiral out. And we're going to unpack that for a minute. A number of years ago, where some of this was discovered, there was a study done, and it was in the insurance industry. And what they did was they took two groups of people. They took a group of people that had applied to get hired by the insurance company. It was a big company, I think it was MetLife. And they took this one group and they just blew out the test. They just scored really high on the test, the aptitude test for the industry, and they hired all those guys. Then they took another group of people that had flunked the aptitude test to get hired in the industry. Dummies. And you know what they did for the experiment? They hired them. Now, here's the hard question. If I gave you a prize to put a team together, which group do you want as a leader? Which team do you want? You want the smart guys or you want the idiots? Hard questions come later. Okay? So here's what happens. They sent them out into the field, and the dummies blew them away. Are you ready for this? 53% difference in sales. 53%. Turn to that person that came with you. Now I'm glad you're on my team. 53% different. Now here's the one thing I didn't tell you, and this gets to the spiraling leader. There was one other difference. The smart guys, they gave another test to measure their thinking and their feeling and their behaving in terms of, were they positive or negative? Were they prone to spiraling in their thinking, or were they able to have charge of themselves where they don't do that? And guess what? In the smart group, they put the smart guys who were pessimists, and they put the flunkers who were optimists, and the ones that had control of their thinking and thought positively, 53% better results. So here's the moral of the story. If you got a choice between those who can and they don't think they can, and those who can't but they believe they can, the ones that believe they can will win every single time. Every single time. And here's what we know about results and this vision. All of the research on goals will come together and basically say this, that the biggest factor that loads on whether you will get from here to there and take your organization from here to there is, number one, whether or not you believe that it can be done. The number one factor. And there's a lot of derivatives of that, of sustaining hope in it and facing reality and priorities and a bunch of stuff. But the number one factor is, do you believe that it can happen?